What's up with the squad? It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies. Welcome back to Cess Talk Sports. Shout out to my loyal family that keep pulling up. And if you're new around here, welcome to the community. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you never miss a drop. And I need everybody to go ahead, like, comment, share, and hype this video so I know you pull it up. We locking in on the Palmetto State showdown inside Colonial Life Arena from November 11, 2025. Listen, rivalry nights carry memories, math, and meaning. And this one had all three layered like pressure on a full court trap. The number on the board says South Carolina 65, Clemson 37, but the truth of the night, it was the anatomy of a route constructed brick by brick, rebound by rebound, and finally sealed by a historic fourth quarter defensive chokehold that turned a tense 10-point game after 30 minutes into a 28-point lesson in standard and stamina. Let's build this from the floor up. The air in the building was thick in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Expectations, 16,623 in the house. You could feel the hum in the air before the tip, right? That opening felt inevitable. South Carolina surged first, fast, ferocious. 11-0 run to start the thing that was as loud as the building. Clemson missed his first 8 shots. The Gamecocks, meanwhile, established the geography of the night. The paint would be ours, the glass would be ours, and the pace would be ours. That first punch mattered because it told Clemson where the line would be drawn. 36-18 in the paint by the end. 48-31 on the boards. 37 defensive rebounds, shutting down the door on second chances, okay? From that opening flurry, the Gamecocks outlined the terms inside out. Body blows first, pretty later. In the face of the tone, Joyce Edwards. Sophomore didn't tiptoe in either. She stormed in. 9 of her game-high 18 in the first quarter. Did her work early. And not cheap ones. Early catch and go. 2-footed power through contact. Trail catch into rhythm. And that follow that breaks a defense's back because it punishes good first shot defense. 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 dimes on the night. Numbers that only hit at the control she exerted. Joyce as an igniter isn't just a label, it's a sequence. She set the altitude. She told Clemson, our ceiling is where your oxygen run out. Credit Clemson for finding breath. Coach Sean Poppy tapped timeout. His group recalibrated. Moore's 3 from the wing, then downhill drive. Those two actually snapped the rhythm into their offense and a hush into the arena for a second. Cut it to 27-22 midway through the second. That's the tension the box score won't show you. The moment a rival steals a pocket of belief. And that's exactly when South Carolina's institutional poise showed up. Enter Tessa Johnson, the stabilizer. 2 clean jumpers, one after an inside-out swing where she stayed in her stance and shot over balance. Another in semi-transition where she didn't hunt the shot. She flowed into it. Those 2 buckets didn't just halt the run. They flipped the possession map back to us. Joyce followed her own miss again. That second effort signature. And we walked into halftime with a 35-24 lead. Not a runway, but a runway under construction. Third quarter turned gritty. 10 minutes where both teams kind of chewed glass. Clemson did exactly what a rival has to do to hang. They hardened the dribble lanes, bodied the cuts, and turned our reads into wrestling matches. But here's the gap. You can slow our scoring. You can't unlock your own. By the horn, it's 45-35, 10 points. Feels small, but look at what got baked in. South Carolina's length had already changed Clemson's shot diet. They were living outside, 5 for 33 from 3 for the night, 15.2%. 14 for 61 from the field, 23%. When your interior route is closed, 18 paint points all game, and your jumpers are contested by longer, quicker closeouts with 10 team blocks waiting if you wander inside, the bill always comes due in the fourth. And then the door slam. 10 minutes that belong in the defensive archives of this program. South Carolina 20, Clemson 2. With the Tigers going 0 for 17 from the field. Let me say that again. 0 for 17. Their only points were 2 free throws. That's not cold. That's crushed. It was a 16-2 burst to start the quarter that snapped whatever was left of Clemson's legs. Guards got chested above the line. Wings saw daylight disappear on the catch. And every post touch was met by body, length, and a second body behind it. Rotations were on a string. The string was made of steel. In that 10-minute theater, the finish was Madina Okot. 8 of her 12 came in the fourth. And each one felt like punctuation. She didn't float. She planted. Duck ends with a wide base, 2-handed rebounds that ended possessions with authority, touch finishes that looked simple because the footwork before them was violent and exact. 12 points, 12 boards, a block, a steal, second straight double-double, and more importantly, the psychological fulcrum of the close. When your 5 is swallowing space and expectation at the same time, the other bench wilts. Now step back and lay numbers across the narrative the way a film room does. South Carolina shot 44.8%, 26 for 8 for 58. And quietly bombed efficiently from 3 at 55.6%, 5 for 9. Clemson, as we said, sat in the low 20s overall, 23%, 15% from deep. Turnovers were not the story. We had 12. They had 10. But what those turnovers became absolutely was, with 37 defensive boards and 10 blocks, our mistakes didn't multiply. Theirs did. 11 offensive rebounds for us, flipped into early damage. 11 second chance points in the first half alone. And the interest kept compounding until the final quarter collapsed. Let's talk personnel with some clarity. The four-pillar core wrote the scoring headline. Edwards, 18, 8, 3 blocks, 2 assists. Johnson, 13, 2, 3 blocks. Latson, 12, 8, 3, 2 blocks. Okot, 12, 12, blocking the steal. But the spine of a route is built by the full rotation. Got McCure 6 and 4 didn't shout, but the timing whispered loudly. Gap filling cuts that flatten and help defenders angle. The kind of weak side board that steals a second possession and forces another defensive stance from a tired rival. Miriam Dollar's 2 points came with 7 rebounds and a block. Possession completion stats that matter in a game like this. Hollywood Raven Johnson's line, 2 points, 2 assists, a block and a single board. Sits light, but watch how she tags shooters and funnel dribble traffic into length behind her. Adele Tack and Isla McDowell didn't scratch the scoring column, but they 8 minutes clean, kept shape and allowed the top end scorers to hit the closing stretch with gas in the tank. Even the team ledger told the tale. 2 team rebounds, the invisible plays that say we were first to the ball in the chaos. Now, Clemson side, because of Rivalry's autopsy needs both pages, right? Taylor Johnson Matthews led them with 9 on 3 for 12. Demiria Hines gave 8 and 8 on 3 for 6 efficient comparatively, but boxed out of volume by the glass deficit. Rachel Rose had 6. Morris Spark early settled at 5. Hadley Perriman had 3 with 4 steals and 3 assists. Aggressive hands that keep them in sequences. While the Georgia Tech transfer, whose name I'm not going to mess up, and who was also supposed to stretch the floor, got stretched by our length instead. 1 for 12 for 3 points. That was targeted game planning. You saw our size. Joyce switching onto perimeter shooters. Erase clean windows and dare to counter that never came. They finished with 9 assists to our 11. 1 block to our 10. That's not a style contrast. That's a program contrast. And there's meaning layered on meaning. This wasn't just a November non-conference box check. This was a Palmetto Series pressure valve release. Clemson had banked early points elsewhere, men's soccer, volleyball, and a women's soccer draw. So they entered the night 2-0-1. Women's basketball had to halt the roll and did. Okay, 65-37 marker became South Carolina's first point on the 2025-26 board. And it did more than trim a tally. It reasserted who carries the banner in this state when the boil is orange and the stakes are emotional. See, the legacy inside the legacy. This was win number 300 at Colonial Life Arena since the building opened in 2002. You don't script that better. Milestone rival, packed house, signature fourth quarter defense. Milestones hit different when they rhyme with identity. The cockpit is where this dynasty learned to fly. The 300th was a reminder that the runway is still busy. The rivalry ledger, 15 straight for South Carolina now. 15. Under Big Drip, the mark against Clemson moves to 15-2, and the all-time series tips to 37-33 in the Guardian Black. The word rivalry is about proximity. The word standard is about separation. Nights like this remind everyone which word belongs to whom. And because this is Gamecockin, we don't duck the subplot. Maddie McDaniel's suspension hovered over the post game. When asked if she'd be available for the next one, number 8 Southern Cal, Coach Staley's answer was hey, truth, doubt it. Asked if she returned at all season, this response hit even firmer. That's on her. She's evaluated every day. In a roster that's managed in-depth realities, those sentences carry weight. But in South Carolina, the standard sits above the circumstance. Culture first, roles are earned, availability is accountability, and accountability lives in public as well as in practice. That's why the fourth quarter looked like it did. Teams built on standard don't fray when a piece is missing. They tighten the weave. Zoom back to the basketball. Why did Clemson disintegrate after 30? Because the attrition tax had been due since the opening 11-0 run. You pay for every second chance point you allowed in the first half during the last 5 minutes of the fourth. You pay for every paint touch you surrendered in the closing rotations of a trap. You pay for every contested defensive rebound loss when your legs won't find lift on the clean corner 3. Our 36-18 paint edge wasn't a stat as much as a wear pattern. Our 48-31 rebounding margin wasn't a number as much as a map of where the game was played. 10 blocks, that's not protection. That's intimidation. Offenses change decisions before they ever even take the shot when they see that many denials stacked up. And inside that structure, each of our core 4 found their lane in their moment. Joyce is the igniter, first quarter fire, then the late game eraser on switches, learning how to be that starter. Tessa as the stabilizer, momentum stopping jumpers when the building tends. Tonight, Latson as the connective tissue, 12-8-3 with 2 blocks, reads like a box score, but look like glue. Extra rebound, extra pass, extra contest. And Madina as the finisher, owning the fourth with mass and grace. 24 points and 20 boards combined from the 2 transfers, Latson and Okot. Paired with Joyce and Tessa's returning to production, this is how a new identity hardens without screaming that it's new. This game also sharpened the film notes for the next challenge without us having to say anything beyond what happened. When the defense lifts to this ceiling, 0 for 17 in a quarter, 2 points allowed, South Carolina can win games by making the floor muddy, not just by lighting the scoreboard. That's tournament math. That's win differently when needed math. And that's how a November night becomes an April habit. This is why the crowd sounded like reverence in the closing minutes. It wasn't just happiness, it was recognition. The 300th home win, the 15th straight in the rivalry, the first Palmetto Series point of the year, and a fourth quarter that will sit in the same sentence whenever folks talk about defensive best quarters under Don Staley. Nights like that don't pass, they echo. Before we wrap, perspective is the gift. 2025-26 Gamecocks are not replaying last year's melody. They're composing a new movement in the same symphony. New faces, same ferocity. New rotation wrinkles, same refusal. The motto isn't a t-shirt, it's a posture. Beyond measure is how you rebound with two hands when you're already up 20. It's how you close with discipline when a rival hasn't made a field goal all quarter. It's how you treat a milestone win like a Tuesday requirement. That's what this night was, a requirement executed with excellence. Make sure you drop a comment with your thoughts on South Carolina's fourth quarter shutdown. Who you see as the emotional heartbeat of this squad, and which detail told you the most about this team's ceiling? The 37 defensive boards, the 10 blocks, the 36-18 paint gap, or that unthinkable 0 for 17 Clemson close? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and share this video with somebody who loves the Gamecocks. Catch y'all next time on Cess Talk Sports, where we always bring you the latest on the rising stars and legends in the making. Keep hooping. Stay tuned. Talk soon, y'all. I'm out. Thanks.